So yeah, like I said, we're gonna continue this today. Hopefully finish it, maybe not. If not, we'll do another stream with it. But I want to get into We Happy Few, and I want to get into some other stuff that I have on my like list of things I want to play. So, but for now, we're gonna continue this. Let's do it. I don't remember what I was doing. Only, played this yesterday. I have to go get something, I think.
I have no reason to.
Where was I going?
I have.
Okay, I gotta look at the dialogue. I don't remember where I was going. Okay. My volume might be a little too high up too. Turn that down. There we go. Apparently I'm lagging today. Okay, I'm going to Whitechapel. Alright. There was one. Over by the clinic, I think.
What a ridiculous idea to have asked Holmes for something to do. Where on earth am I going to find what he wants? Perhaps that kind Lucy will be able to help me.
Oh, I have to go talk to Lucy. Alright.
I must go to Miss Bella's.
Oh. Okay.
I must go to Miss Bella's.
That's where I'm going, bruh. I'm your tatas.
Good evening, Lucy. But is something wrong?
Good evening, Dr. Watson. Yes, it's my uncle. He's no longer with us.
Please accept my condolences, miss.
Thank you, Doctor. But why are you here? Can I help you?
I mean, I'm sure you can always help him.
My request may sound
Just
rather
saying.
strange, but do you know if there is a butcher's or slaughterhouse in the area where pigs are killed?
Yes, Fletcher's the man. He was a regular client, owner of a little butcher's shop not far. But Miss Bella didn't want him to come, as long as he didn't treat his awful sickness.
Can you point to his shop on my map?
Certainly.
Do you know anything about the two latest murders?
Oh, goodness me, no. All the girls in the neighborhood are terrified. Who will be next? That's what everyone is asking.
Alrighty then.
Goodbye, Lucy.
Until next time, perhaps, Doctor.
Oh, also, I'm sorry if my lighting sucks. I just have the window open right now, and it's like cloudy and weird out, so. The light will fluctuate.
Ah, there's Fletcher's butcher shop. Closed due to illness. If the proprietor is ill, the butcher's block is probably not being used. Perhaps I can use it. Now, where could a sick butcher have got to?
Maybe the clinic right next to me?
Yes, if Fletcher is ill, he should be here.
Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Good evening, Dr. Gibbons. I have come to see you because I was wondering if, by any chance, you happen to have a patient by the name of Fletcher, a butcher who would have relinquished his shop due to illness. An illness caught during nocturnal encounters, if you catch my drift.
Evening encounters.
Fletcher is one of the regulars at the clinic. Mercury treatment against syphilis. A night with Venus, a lifetime with Mercury. He left London a fortnight ago for the fresh country air. Why is he of interest to you?
Oh, no reason. I'm more interested in using his shop, only for an hour or so. Would he have left his keys with family in the area?
He has none left, but he must have left Hardiman, the cat's meat seller, to oversee his shop. They're in business. They're good friends.
Do you know where he can be found?
No, but wander around the neighbourhood and listen for his beep beeps. He often passes in front of the clinic. Besides...
Okay. Except I don't have my volume high enough where I can see anything. Oh, sickly people. I thought that was like a dead person wrapped up. Alright. Beep beep.
It's me that you're looking for, sweetheart.
Actually, no. I am looking for the cat food seller, Hardiman.
Hardiman? Poor Hardiman? It isn't quitting time for him yet. That gives me some time to wander the streets before he shows up, and with him all the cats hereabouts.
Do you know where he lives?
Sure, and for a copper I might even tell you.
Here are a few coins.
You're too kind, Governor. Well, these days I knows that he lives with his mammy on Hanbury Street, in the same place where Dark Annie bled to death.
Why did you call him poor Hardiman?
Bah, he's in grieving, of course. Just a few weeks ago he lost his wife, and 3 months before that his girl, poor fella. He was in tatters, even came to cry on my shoulder, believe it or not.
Well, I must leave you. I must go to Hanbury Street.
Where the fuck is Hanbury Street? Does it say on my thingy? No, it doesn't give the names, which is really kind of annoying.
Bucks Row.
What the fuck is this kid doing? That's funny. Okay.
I have no reason to go that way. Bucks Row. Bucks Row.
I don't remember how to get him to fucking run.
I have no reason to go that way.
Options. Oh, back. Oh, controls. Run. Oh, is caps lock. Okay.
Tell me,
Hi.
is it...
Oh, it's so cold.
That's the church. That was loud. Excuse me. No, where am I right now? Oh, did I go that way? Okay.
I have no reason to go that way. Batty Street. Burner Street.
Okay. I have no idea where I'm going as usual.
I have no reason to go that way. I must go to Hanbury Street.
Yeah, except I don't know where Hanbury Street is.
Tell me, is it...
If it's to file a complaint, you should go.
Yeah, shut up. It's usually like right by where they
Whitechapel
talk to
Street.
you. But I don't see it.
Bucks Row.
Your phone's Bucks Row. It's not a street.
I I have no reason to go that way. Tell me, is it...
You too? You're lost?
Yes, I'm lost. Help me, bitch.
I have nothing to ask.
Come, my lord, a little coin. Oi!
I am so very confused, very confused, very confused.
I have nothing to ask. I have no reason to go that way. Tell
You
me,
look like
is
a,
it...
a fancy fellow.
Misery is a terrible thing.
Where the fuck is this street? I might have to look it up. Let's see. Da-da-da. I didn't mean to do that. Is it on the fucking map? Oh my god, it's on the fucking map. Y'all, I'm
This is
so
the
dumb.
building in which poor Annie Chapman was killed.
Beep beep. Beep beep.
Hello, are you Mr. Hardiman?
That's me.
I am Dr. Watson. I have come to see you about Fletcher's shop. I would like to use it for an hour or two, if you have the keys and your rates are reasonable.
Do you want to operate on someone in the butcher's?
Not at all. One of my friends needs it to prepare pig's heads.
Well, why not? Fletcher certainly wouldn't mind, but there's a problem.
A problem? How so?
This morning, the neighbour above broke his key in the door. The old boy must have already had a drink.
So?
Well, I tried my best to unjam it with Fletcher's spare key, which is pretty thin, and bam, that one broke
Oh
too.
god.
Hard luck. But if you have the end of the broken key, perhaps it can be fixed.
It must still be upstairs. I didn't pick it up. Fletcher has a key too, so I didn't think it was a problem. Fancy if I just had another key with a simpler blade, I could copy it. I'm great at odd jobs.
Fine, I will try to find all of that.
Well,
Well,
what do I
see
need
you
to
later
find?
then.
Goodbye, sir.
Why in the Lord's name would I go? I have no reason.
I thought I was going back to the shop. I'm very confused.
What are you looking for? Tricks? Opium? Girl? Sailor?
Girl, sailor.
I have no reason to go that way. I have no reason to go that way.
Well, where am I going then, sir?
Why in the... I have no reason to... Why in the... Why in the Lord's name
I don't know.
would
Why
go...
would you go? Where am I supposed to be going here? Must still be upstairs. Okay, upstairs where?
I have no reason to go that way. I have no reason to go that way. Why in... Why in... Why... Why... Why...
Okay, where am I supposed to be going here?
I have no...
The guide says... Go to the shop located in the yard where Annie Chapman was murdered. I don't remember where Annie Chapman was murdered.
I have no reason to go that way. I have no reason to go that way.
Oh, there we go. Like I've been up and down this street.
This key was left inadvertently. Indeed, there is nothing terribly precious in... Oh, no. But what a... Ah, how dreadful. Kebabs, the same as Hardiman's. So he prepares his meat here. This
Yikes.
bag contains butcher's... word! These are innards.
It's not a
I
very
found
safe
it.
space to process meat, in my personal opinion. Okay. Yeah.
Have you found everything I need to remake the key? There you go. I think you'll manage with all of this. I'm sure I will, sir. It won't take me long. Say, I think there's some of your business upstairs. Oh, you're right. I ain't had the time to sort it out. Sometimes I'm in such a hurry to prepare my meat that I forget to clean up. But why do it in the stairwell? Offal bleeds bucket loads, they do, as you've seen. Now, why would I do that in my own lodgings? Ah, of course. But what about your poor neighbours? They owe it to me, all the times I've helped them out. And I don't have a shop either. Say, you sell animal meat, isn't that right? Would you know where I could find a dozen small pig's heads? The guy who gets me my offal should have some. I'll pay your day's wages if you meet me at Fletcher's butcher shop in 2 hours with the pig's heads. Here's a little advance. I'll do my best, Doctor.
Okay.
The caretaker of another building told us that the place where your mother lives has a reputation for facilitating prostitutes' activities. Is that true? Sure, the doors are never closed. They come through here like it's Paddington Station. By the way, I heard about your loss. My condolences. Ta, sir. I saw them die slow deaths. My little girl, her face was eaten by the disease. Thank you, my friend, and please forgive me for bringing up such painful memories. Go, I must do my rounds, and I will look for what you've asked for. As for me, I will go and find Holmes, and we will go to the butcher's together.
Okay.
Let's return to Fletcher's butcher shop.
There we go.
Your heads are on the block inside. Say, you wouldn't be the same chap who bought my whole load the other day.
It's possible, but if you want to continue to do business together, you mustn't speak of my presence in the area to anyone.
Don't worry, my lord. I'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
Oh, I'm Sherlock now. Okay.
Holmes, will you explain the reason and rhyme behind this masquerade?
Elementary. We shall conduct an experiment that will allow us to answer a simple question. Does the type of weapon used by the killer correspond to a specific profession?
Okay.
And here are our sow's heads. Congratulations, Watson.
You're welcome, Holmes, but what do you really want to do? Take up a collection?
I need something. I need something. There is nothing further to find it. This wheel is broken and prevents the door from sliding. I need something.
I was gonna say, all I have left in my inventory is a knife.
There, this door is slightly raised. I need something. Elementary. While I prepare our experiment, could you find me 2 knives? A small one, somewhat larger than a pocket knife, with a large, sharp blade. We'll need it to separate the bones and to cut through the thick
Gross.
skins.
Don't
Then
wanna.
find me a long knife that's at least 13 inches long, no shorter, that's sharp and has a thick blade.
Fine, Holmes, but I'd like to tell you about Hardiman. Do you know that he prepares his kebabs himself, and...
That he owns butcher's tools and uses offal? That's obvious, Watson. Pray, take my magnifying glass and my rule and get started, Watson. Find me these 2 knives.
Okay, I don't remember what he said. Small one, somewhat larger than a pocket knife with a large sharp blade. We'll need it to separate the bones. Long knife that's at least 13 inches long, no shorter, that's sharp and has a thick blade.
With the rule, I must find a large knife. Size, 13 inches. Here are your knives, Holmes.
No, Watson.
Here are your knives, Holmes.
No, Watson.
Here are your knives, Holmes.
No, Watson.
No. It's probably the little one that was wrong.
No, Holmes only needs 2 knives. No, Holmes only needs 2 knives.
You're making me mad. Okay.
Size, 11 inches.
Okay. So that's...
Thanks to the magnifying glass, I can find a small knife that matches Holmes's description.
So that one for sure. What's his description? Somewhat larger than a pocket knife with a long, sharp blade. There we go.
Here are the knives you asked for. Be careful, they're awfully sharp. Holmes, I must say that this experiment is making me rather uneasy. Comparing
that's how
animal
science is
heads
done,
to these
bruh.
poor women.
It's fine.
You're right, Watson, but this somewhat shocking experiment may help to end this massacre and save other victims. You can be sure of that. Look, these pigs' heads
Do we
are
have to
still
like
bloody,
it? No,
which will suit
but
our
that's how it
experiment
goes.
perfectly. I have a pocket knife and a scalpel with me. With the 2 knives you just brought me, we have a similar array of weapons as those probably used by the killer. We saw 3 types of throat wounds on the deceased attributed to this man, those intended to slit the throat, those intended to decapitate, and the more superficial yet mortal wound that led to the death of the unfortunate victim in Dutfield's yard, Miss Stride. With the help of these 4 knives, we are going to try to recreate these wounds on the
Phone
pigs'
keeps
heads
going off.
and see what we can establish about the weapon or weapons used. We may also be able to rule out Miss Stride as a victim of the killer of the other 3.
Okay. I already wasn't paying attention. Okay. Documents. Or deductions. What am I supposed to be doing here?
Let's try to use these weapons on this head to obtain a large deep wound to the throat, like those that
Okay.
were noted on 3 of the 4 victims. This little knife is very sharp and has a very wide blade. This pocket knife is very sharp, but its blade is too thin. The wound is too shallow. Look, Watson, this knife easily penetrates the flesh. Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools, knowing that the killer didn't quite manage to do it.
Charming.
Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can easily slice the vertebrae of our porcine friend. The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the vertebrae. With a scalpel, the wound is too shallow. This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae. Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where a single quick blow is given. The scenario in question is that of Dutfield's yard.
Okay.
Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh. In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife's blade, I can scrape the skin. This particularly sharp blade can make a deep gash with one quick slice. It cuts through the flesh easily as the blade is so sharp. It cuts through the flesh easily as the blade is so sharp. This particularly sharp blade can
Definitely
make a
not
deep
that
gash.
one.
In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife's blade, I can scrape the skin. Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh.
Can't decide which one it is.
Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where a single quick blow.
Okay, so experiment 3 should have.
Let's see if these knives can elementary. Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools, knowing that the killer didn't quite manage.
Charming.
Bottom 3.
Elementary.
Okay, and experiment 1.
Let's try to use these weapons on this. Elementary.
I'm gonna go with
That's
this
it,
one.
Watson. The big knife.
The big knife.
With respect to the opinion of the medical examiners who noted that a butcher's knife with a long blade would have caused the eviscerations on some of the victims, we can assume, Watson, that he only used this type of weapon as
It's
it
a little
is
chilly in my
capable of
office right
inflicting
now.
all of the wounds displayed. Furthermore, the Dutfield's Yard murder remains attributable, for the moment, to the Whitechapel killer, if we are able to explain why the murderer used his knife in a different manner. Why not go there now? We will try to reenact the killer's actions that night. Our first objective will be to clarify, one way or another, the statements of Constable Smith as well as this Hungarian by the name of Schwartz. We must also try to find out more about the International Working Men's Educational Club, underneath which the murder took place, perhaps at the Wasp's Nest.
Yes, let's go to Dutfield's Yard or wherever, but quickly. I am in urgent need of fresh air.
Definitely
Let's go
fresh
to the
air
Wasp's
is needed.
Nest.
What's this?
Don't forget the Bluto may still be hiding here. I will try to find out more inside. You, Watson, must intercept the policeman on his rounds. Given the hour and a bit of luck, it will be Smith. Try to get some information from him.
Understood, Holmes.
Alright, who am I playing as? Holmes, okay.
Hello.
I know you. You're Squibby's guardian angel. You weren't dressed the same last time, but I don't forget a face.
Your Jack the Ripper is on everyone's lips and written in all of the papers. You must be awfully proud of yourself. You have skill, that's for certain. It's a shame you use it to mask rather than discover the truth.
You better believe that I'm going to find out who it is. I got a hold of old Schwartz's interpreter. You know, the Hungarian who saw Liz Stride get it. Doesn't speak a word of English. And when he went round to the station, another Jew went along to interpret. I found that bloke, and he repeated everything that had been said at the station. It won't be long before I find these fellows.
If you say so, my friend.
Why do you say these fellows? Were there several of them?
Do you not read the papers, or what? Well, given the rubbish that you read sometimes. Let me explain. At 12:45 a.m., Schwartz goes down Burner Street towards Fairclough, on the side of the road where the Workers' Club is. A bit further from there, just near Dutfield Yard's wooden doors, a chap and a lady are arguing. The Star said that the bloke wanted to push the girl into Dutfield's yard, but the translator told me that Schwartz saw him pulling her towards the road. She doesn't want to follow. He grabs her by the shoulders and throws her to the ground. She falls a bit, but not too loudly. Old Schwartz is scared, crosses to the other side, but continues in the same direction. The bloke with the girl notices him and yells, "Lipsky!" At the same time, another bloke at the corner of Fairclough and Burner who was lighting his pipe gets in on the action. He starts coming towards Schwartz in a menacing way, and Schwartz takes to his heels, doesn't see anything else. Once he finds out that a woman got herself killed, he went to testify and identified Long Liz Stride as the woman he saw getting thrown about. So there were definitely two blokes, mate. But why am I telling you all this?
In vino veritas. I'll take my leave then, Mr. Bulling.
That's right. Till next time.
If you're looking for some company, Gov, you've come to the wrong place. Me, I'm just here to pour. I don't care who you is, I knows nothing, and I don't care neither.
A draft, my good man.
Here, sir.
Tell me, was it not a mere stone's throw away from here that the Whitechapel killer struck last week?
That'd be Jack the Ripper, that's his name. Slit the throat of a working girl in a small courtyard over there behind them big wooden doors.
Below the Workers' Club?
The very spot, below Lipsky and Co. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack was one of them, if you catch my drift.
Lipsky.
Lipsky and Company. Do you mean to say that someone called Lipsky runs this club?
Nah, it's just that it's full of Jews. In Whitechapel, we call them all Lipskys, like that Lipsky who killed that girl in Batty Street last year.
Oh, really?
Last year, a Jew named Israel Lipsky killed a lass who was 6 months pregnant by making her drink acid. One trial and one protest by rabbis later, and he was hanging. By those who don't much like him, the Jews are called Lipskys.
Is the term Lipskys used to refer to the Jews in the area, and is this club frequented by Jews?
You got it. Socialist Jews even. They spend their evenings hollering, singing. I've seen them spitting on the bosses.
Okay then.
And you know the victim?
No more her than any other. The working girls don't drum up business too much in this street. They need a reason to end up here.
And you know the victim?
Ah, darn it.
Very well. Goodbye.
Cheers.
First and foremost, I must find P.C. Smith. Good evening, Constable.
Good evening, sir.
I am Dr. Watson. Would you happen to be P.C. Smith, the man who patrols this beat?
That's me. And you work with the famous Sherlock Holmes, don't you? What can I do for you?
Lots of things. You can do lots of things for
I
me.
believe you were on duty the night when the murder took place here. You would certainly be able to confirm a few details, such as the time of death that the medical examiner gave.
It's just that I wasn't there when the body was discovered. I don't think I can help you.
But I was told that you had seen the victim that very night.
Indeed. But it was before the murder. I saw her, not far from here. She was talking to a man. It was around 12:30 or 12:35 a.m.
What did this man look like?
I only saw him from behind, really. He was wearing a short black outfit, a small felt hat like a cap in a dark colour, and a white collar. He seemed to be a respectable type. He was carrying a packet in his hand wrapped in newspaper, about 18 inches long and about 6 inches wide.
That's
His
very
outfit
specific.
reminds me of someone that I know. Was he a large man, on the older side?
I don't think so, no. Even though I only saw him from behind, I would say that he was barely 30 years old, or even less. Say 28, or even less. 26 years old, and 5 foot 8 inches tall at the very most. He had a small dark brown moustache and an olive complexion, I would say, but once again, I only caught a brief glimpse of his face in 3/4 profile.
Alright.
Nobody else saw this man?
I discussed this previously with Mr. Eagle, the president of the Workers' Club. That night he returned around 12:40 a.m. to the club. He used the passage through Dutfield's yard to get into the club because the main door was locked. He can attest that he didn't see anyone else in the passage at that time, but wasn't really paying attention to who else might have been in Burner Street itself. He was listening to the song coming from the club. In short, no one else saw him.
Well, thank you for having satisfied my curiosity, my friend.
A fine evening to you, Doctor.
A fine evening to you.
Well, Watson, let's go to Dutfield's yard.
So it's in Whitechapel, Burner Street.
Dutfield's yard.
Oh, it's right there. Okay.
Your interrogation of P.C. Smith has proven to be very shrewd and of great interest. Thanks to the information I've managed to gather and that you were able to read in my notes in Baker Street, Watson, we can recreate what happened that fateful night at this location, Dutfield's Yards to be precise, the
Can we?
site of Liz
Because I
Wright's
guess I
murder.
haven't been paying attention enough to figure it out. Alright, hold on.
Midnight, the Socialist Club meeting ends. The members, mainly Jewish men, gradually begin to leave the club in little groups or alone. At 12:20 a.m., the American leaves the Socialists Club for some fresh air. The street is deserted.
Okay, I am following a guide just because I'm, you know.
12:30 to 12:35 a.m., Smith
The
noticed
cheaty
Liz
McCheater
Stride
pants, and
talking to
I
the
don't
man
feel
with
like
the
putting in the
package.
work.
12:40 a.m., Eagle, the president of the club, enters the workers' club via the passageway through Dutfield's yard. He passed through Dutfield's yard. If Liz Stride had already been killed, he would have had to walk over her. The murder, therefore, had not yet happened. At 12:43 a.m., Israel Swartz passes by Dutfield's yard and witnesses the attack on Liz Stride. At 12:44 a.m., Schwartz crosses to the other side of the road. The attacker sees him and yells, "Lipsky." The attacker must have shouted to his accomplice at the end of the road, "Lipsky," indicating at Schwartz using his head in an attempt to scare off this undesirable. At 12:45 a.m., Schwartz runs away, followed for a short distance by this man. At 1 a.m., Mr.
I just
Deemschutz
noticed it
wants to
shows
enter
all the
with his
times,
cart,
too.
but the pony refuses.
Right on there.
We know that the murder took place between 12:45 and 1 a.m. Mr. Deemschutz, therefore, must have disturbed the killer. Let's place Liz Stride's murder on the timeline, Watson. 12:45 to 1 a.m., the murder of Liz Stride. It took place in this very spot,
There's the
as
doggy
the traces of
outside. I
blood
can
were
hear the
very
leash.
confined. We will come back to this point in a few moments to elaborate on what could have happened. Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson. Watson, imagine the victim laid down there on the ground. Her right hand, it is bloody, as is her wrist. The throat, there is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downwards. Her left hand, it is closed around a bag of pastils. Her left hand, it is closed around a bag of pastils. Her knees and dress, they are clean. Her knees and dress, they are clean. Her right hand, it is bloody, as is her wrist. Her left hand, it is closed around a bag of pastils. The throat, there is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downwards. This door leads to the club for Jewish socialist workers.
Haven't completed everything, and I'm annoyed.
The ground is muddy.
There we go.
This door leads to the Club for Jewish Socialist Workers.
Deduction, alright. Knees and the bottom of the dress at the front are clean. The ground is dirty. The wound in the neck is clean, starting from the right and slightly oblique and descending. Starting from the right? It was the left hand then. Stride had her. Let's go with that, okay. Well, that's all wrong. I'll figure it out. Hold on. He's a lumberjack? I would say the murderer is strong. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. Bloody right hand and wrist. The carotid wasn't slit. Well, I guess she could have cut. No, it doesn't make sense to cut herself. Okay. Knife blade used in the murder was thin. Okay. So if it started from the right, yeah, because if you go from right to, unless it means like this. Okay. Yeah, that's what I just didn't have the right order, I guess. There we go. There we go. Wrong button.
We
There
have
we
two
go.
possibilities. The first is that Liz Stride's killer and the attacker, seen by Schwartz, were one and the same man. The second is that Liz Stride meets a client. After some discussion, they head towards Dutfield's yard to do their business. As soon as they arrive, the attacker appears while his accomplice keeps watch. Schwartz's arrival dissuades the two men from lingering. They leave the area and leave Liz Stride in a tense state, but glad to have kept her client. He will be her murderer. Both hypotheses are possible, but an incongruous detail will serve to corroborate one of them. an incongruous detail that we were able to establish regarding the Hanbury Street murder. Which one would that be, Watson?
I don't know. Which would it be?
Look at the victim carefully, Watson, and tell me the link between the murder of Liz Stride and those of Nichols and Chapman. No, that's not it.
The bag of pastels, Holmes.
The bag of pastels. Indeed, Watson. If this woman had to defend herself against an attacker, why would she have held onto this bag in her hand? It didn't fall because this woman's hand tensed at the moment when she fell to the ground. Therefore, Watson, we know the killer distracted his victim's attention by making them take something out of their pockets.
Interesting and
Why
clever.
didn't he slit her throat like the others? He must have feared a struggle with this strong-willed woman. Why didn't he eviscerate her? Because Louis Diemschutz arrived.
Do you think the Whitechapel killer is behind this murder, Holmes?
Yes, and now this murder has been linked to its rightful perpetrator, it will take on deeper meaning when we have examined the facts from that night. Let's go to Mitre Square, where Catherine Eddowes was killed. And make haste, Watson, as we have another murder to commit in 40 minutes.
Okay.
Here we are, Watson, Mitre Square. It took us a mere 20 minutes to get here. If the killer left Dutfield's yard around 1 o'clock, as we assume, he would have arrived here at around 1:20 a.m. We know that Catherine Eddowes' body was discovered at 1:44 a.m. Catherine was released from prison around 1 o'clock, but we have no information as to what she could have been doing until her death. This place has 3 possible ways out. Let's see where they
Back
lead.
doesn't want to pop today.
As a precaution, I brought an old map of the area with me. It will help us get our bearings.
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me ill at ease.
Okay, so there's Church Passage, St. James Passage, and then Meter Street.
Watson, we are now in the exact spot where poor Eddowes tragically ended her days.
This spot is very dark, Holmes.
That is probably why our murderer chose it. Turn
Oh
on
no,
the
I
light,
can't see
Watson.
anything. It's just dirt. Dark.
Take the lantern, Watson.
There we go.
The
Alright.
head is turned towards the left. The murderer must have been on the right side of his victim. Let's look at her from the front. The nose was cut.
Ew, that's gross.
The eyelids were cut off. The eyelids were cut off. There is but one wound, Watson. It goes from the left side and descends in a slight oblique towards the right side. The cheeks were slashed to make them thinner.
Oh, ew. Yes, they were. Ew.
The cheeks were slashed to make them thinner. There is but one wound, Watson.
Ugh. Let me back out of this,
Do
please.
these
Okay.
objects spread out by the victim remind us of anything, Watson? A thimble is located right beside one of the victim's hands, just like Chapman's sachet of pills and Stride's pastels. Part of this apron is missing. We will follow up on that shortly. These intestines were pulled out altogether to grant access to the abdomen.
That is gross, gross, gross.
The head is turned towards the left.
No,
The main incision goes from the sternum all the way down to the groin. The murderer opened this abdomen as if it were an animal carcass. A kidney was removed. The uterus was removed.
That is so gross.
The inside of the thighs is clean. Once again, there were no sexual relations between the victim and her murderer.
My goodness, Holmes, it was a slaughter.
Understand, Watson, that our killer had neither the time nor the conditions to bother with the niceties. He had no more than 7 or 8 minutes at most to kill the woman, open her up, and all the while in total darkness.
Holmes, it's a woman, a poor victim you're talking about.
Consider all the time this man lost and the risks that he actually took by cutting the victim's face and the lower abdomen in around 20 precise spots, especially the lungs and the liver. These attacks, which I considered gratuitous, are in fact nothing of the sort and have as much sense as the removal of the organs. We must, first and foremost,
So we're just more
locate
confused
three
than we
exits
were
leading
before,
to
is what
Mitre
you're
Square,
saying,
Watson.
Sherlock. Okay.
This is Mitre Street, from where Watkins, the constable who found the body, came. Nothing of interest here. Church Passage. It must be opposite the Imperial Club at 16 to 17 Duke Street. Let's go to the end of this. I have no reason to go that way. Hello, you must be Abraham Solomonovich, am I right?
Yes, that's me. But I know you. You brought a lad to my place to take care of a cat, and I loaned you my mask.
That's me. May I present?
Dr. Watson, of course. Delighted. And you? I have known for a few days that you are a detective by the name of Sherlock Holmes. Is that so?
You don't miss a thing, do you? It was the children who gave me away, am I right?
They didn't want to, but I gained their confidence by offering them a small comb and half a cake.
They made a good deal out of it, so I don't blame them. However, I must request, as a personal favor, that you do not reveal my identity.
You have my word. Curiosity is just killing me, as you may have guessed. Would it be breaking an oath to confide in me the nature
that
of
seems
the
a
investigation that
little
you
suspicious
are leading?
there, dude. Seems a little nosy there.
Does this spot where we are now in Mitre Square mean anything to you?
A demon lives in this city, Mr. Holmes. These unmentionable acts degrade the human race and put the Jewish community in terrible danger.
Lots of rumors are circulating, but they are but rumors. I see you're leaving the Imperial Club. It's a stone's throw away from Mitre Square, and the 2 recent murders were most probably discussed in there. Do you know if anyone from the club saw or heard anything that night?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. That night, 3 members of our club saw a woman talking to a man at the very spot where we are standing, a few minutes before the body was found at the end of this passage.
Fantastic, Holmes.
Calm yourself, Watson. There is nothing at the moment to suggest it was the victim. Can we meet these members?
I am afraid that won't be possible. As soon as the police heard the evidence of these men, they were sworn to silence.
I understand.
But you are working for the good, and I must tell you what I know. One of the 3 men, my friend Joseph, left that night with 2 other members of the Imperial Club, Harry and another Joseph. It was around 1:35 a.m., perhaps a bit earlier. When Joseph, not my friend, but the other, the Aldgate butcher, exited,
Excuse
he
me.
saw a man and a woman in discussion at this very spot where we are.
These men must have been about 16 feet away from the couple.
That's about right. So Joseph, the butcher, said to the other two, while pointing at the couple, "Look, I don't like going home alone when I see this kind of people here." My friend Joseph looked at them without noticing anything strange and didn't understand what he meant. They had the look of two rather
Sorry I'm being so
unkempt
quiet. Just
people,
when there's a lot of
but
bits
no
of
more
dialogue,
than
I
that.
just let it play out for y'all.
After the murder, did these three men tell the police what they had seen?
Not quite. Harry stated that he hadn't seen the couple. As for Joseph, the butcher, even though he was the one who commented on them and pointed them out, said that he couldn't remember anything except that the man was about 3 inches taller than the woman, who was 5 feet tall, no more. My friend Joseph, on the other hand, did his best to cooperate with the police.
Excuse me.
And what did your friend Joseph say? What did this man and woman look like?
The man must have been 30 years old, about 5 foot 7 inches, light complexion, and a fair moustache. He wore a loose, dark jacket, a grey cap, and a red scarf around his neck. But he said that he only saw him for a brief instant, and it would be impossible to recognize him.
And the woman?
He only saw her from behind. She had her hand on the man's stomach and seemed to be pushing him. He said that he remembered that she was small, was wearing a black jacket and a black bonnet. After his testimony, the police took him to see the clothing of the deceased, and Joseph said that they looked identical to those of the woman he had seen. Like I already said, he only glanced at the two, as he was headed with the others in the direction of Aldgate.
One final question. The Imperial
I
Club
don't know
is
why
a
I'm so
Jewish club,
yawny all
isn't
of a
that
sudden.
correct?
Indeed.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Solomonovich.
Bah, it was nothing. We must at all cost prevent this demon from striking again, and the police seem to have some difficulty in doing that. I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Holmes.
Okay.
The Imperial Club. I have no reason to go that way. This building is the Great Synagogue of London. Closed. I have no reason to go that way.
Nope, can't go that way, okay.
Nothing of interest here.
Okay, so then let's go... Nope, not that way. This the way.
This dark and narrow passage leads to St. James's Place. Watson, we must now consult our timeline. We began in Dutfield's yard, but this time we will try to recreate the actions of certain people. In this case, those of the two policemen. I have no reason to go that way.
Can't go... Okay. So now I need to do my deduction. Okay, items are meant for a woman. Sure? The thimble is found right beside the victim's hand. Nope. Nope. New anatomy, thank you. Wound to the neck goes from the right and slightly oblique and descending. Probably have the right conclusion, but not in the right order. Okay, so oh, God darn it, I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay. Then there was like a timeline or something. Oh, yes, timeline. There we go. 1:42.
1:42 a.m. PC Harvey arrives in Mitre Square. It should be noted, Watson, that the constable didn't enter Mitre Square. He could not have seen the corpse lying on the ground. But would he have been able to see a man sitting or standing? Go to the church passage entrance, then come back and try to see me while holding your lantern. I will stay at the spot where the victim was discovered.
Lantern.
I see you, Holmes.
You had to proceed into the square in order to see me, something Harvey didn't do. It is possible that the killer was still there. 1:42 a.m. PC Harvey arrives at Mitre Square but does not go in. The murderer may well have still been there.
Okay.
1:44 a.m. The body is discovered.
Okay. 1:35.
1:35 a.m. A man and a woman are arguing at the entrance of Church Passage.
Man,
The man came from
Old
Aldgate.
Gate. Okay. 1:30.
1:30 a.m. PC Watkins didn't see the corpse while on his rounds. If PC Watkins did his rounds properly, and there is no reason to doubt this was the case, as he discovered the corpse a quarter of an hour later, the murder hadn't yet taken place, and there was no one in Mitre Square, unless they were hidden among the shadows. Enter Mitre Square via Mitre Street, Watson, and stop and try to see me with the lantern. I will be where poor Edow's corpse was.
Okay. Quite the difference.
I have no reason to go that way. I see you, Holmes.
Perfect, Watson. Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
I mean, it could be anywhere on this timeline. Murder hadn't yet taken place at 1:30. I would say it's somewhere in here. Give or take.
Very good, Watson. Thus we can categorically state that the murder had not yet occurred at 1:30. Let's put the murder of poor Eddowes on the timeline, Watson.
I don't know what my dog's going off about. Okay, well, 1:35 to 1. Okay, yeah.
1:35 and 1:42 a.m. The murder would appear to have taken place between these times, that is to say, within 7 minutes.
Agreed, Holmes. But does this really prove that our killer had the time to perpetrate these two murders?
I mean,
Let's
not
look at our
really. He didn't
timeline,
have
Watson.
much time.
There, Watson. We are now certain that the murderer really had the time to commit these two murders.
Incredible.
Yeah,
This
that's
spot
true.
is making me nauseous. Can we not head back, Holmes?
We certainly can't, Watson. We have one final point to address. Do you remember the piece of white apron that was missing just now? It was found just a few steps away from here, at the entrance of a building. That's where we must go. Let's go. There's the spot, Watson. By night, Goulston Street is deathly silent, which will permit us to carry out a fair few experiments. Let's find the entrance where the piece of the victim's apron and the mysterious chalk message were found.
Okay, what's happening now?
Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish High Street. Look at these signs, Watson. Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish...
Those are all signs.
Nothing of interest here.
Oh, I have to read every stupid sign. Okay.
Look at these signs, Watson. We are in... Look at these signs, Watson. We are in... Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish High...
Shut up.
Look at these signs, Watson. We are... Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jew...
Okay. What am I supposed to be doing?
Nothing of interest here. I have no reason to go that way.
For like little huts for their stands and stuff, I'm assuming. Hook. I don't really get what I'm looking for. There's this spot, Watson. By night, Ghost in Streets, Deadly Slime, which will promise care for every experience. Aha,
There's
there
the
we go.
spot where the apron and the message were found by PC Long. Now, let's recreate the scene. Remember, Watson, it was raining that night. Find me something with which to mimic raindrops hitting this wall while I write something with my chalk.
The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. But what does it mean?
No idea what it means.
Have you found something for us to pour water from, Watson?
Find a container and some water. Let me remind you that it's nighttime and the street is deserted, Holmes. I have no reason to go that way.
Aha.
Water.
Where's the water? Where's the bucket? Are you running? No, you're not running. Well, fucking run, please.
That may come in handy. Who knows? A watering can. That's what I need. But I can't reach it. A watering can. That's... An old wooden pole. A merchant probably threw it out. A watering can. That's what... A watering can. A watering can. That's
Okay,
what I
why
need.
aren't I grabbing it?
But I can't reach...
I need to, like, combine it in my inventory or something. No? Oops. I didn't mean to do that. That's the water.
That may come in handy. Who knows?
So here we go. I need to do this with this with this. There we go. Now that makes sense.
A watering can.
What? Come on.
A watering can. That's what I need. But I can't reach it. A watering can. That's what I...
Okay, what am I missing here?
A watering can.
Bone. Who's texturizing me? He's Meech. He's such a cutie. They are such a cutie and I love them. Okay. Sorry. Mage is adorable and I appreciate them so much. Okay. Should just be able to get the stupid watering can. Why is it being so difficult?
I have no reason to go that way. A watering can. A watering can. That... A watering can.
Why are you not using this?
A watering can.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Ah!
A watering can. That's what
Oh.
I need. But I can't reach it. A watering can.
No. Wrong inventory item. There we go. Okay, watering can. Water. There's Sherlock.
The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. But what does it mean?
I don't know what it means. That doesn't matter.
The Jews are not the... Yes, I have, Holmes.
If this message were written by the killer, then it would have been lying in this entrance for up to 35 minutes before being discovered. Let's find out in what state it must have been. This message could not have withstood an entire night in the rain. During the investigations carried out on the night of the double murder, PC Hulse inspected the entrances of this street around 2:20 a.m. and confirmed to have seen nothing out of the ordinary. At 2:55 a.m., 35 minutes later, PC Long found Catherine Edow's piece of apron and the message in chalk. This message would not have withstood a whole night in the rain, as had I continued to water it for a little longer, I would certainly have erased it. It was written, therefore, at the moment when the piece of apron was dumped. This substantiates PC Hulse's statement, which stated he had seen neither of these during his rounds. After its discovery, it was guarded and protected from the rain, which was subsiding, which explains why it was still legible when it was erased at 5:30. My dear Watson, when you met P.C. Smith on his rounds in the street, where was he? On the pavement or in the middle of the road?
In the middle of the road, Holmes, without a shadow of a doubt.
Good. You'll go down the street with your lantern as if you were a policeman on patrol, using Smith's position as a guide. As soon as you see the entrance where I used the watering can, tell me if you see anything.
Okay. On the other side?
There, Holmes. From here, I can see something written.
Can you read it?
No.
Do you see the white rag, Watson?
I see something on the ground, but I'm not sure if it's what you were talking about.
P.C. Long, who found the piece of apron, was examining the interior of the entrances, and yet nobody would have predicted that this piece of material would be discovered on the very night of the murder by a policeman on patrol.
What are you trying to get at, Holmes?
Let's look at this message on the wall, Watson. The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. In other words, the Jews were possibly blamed for nothing, but that will no longer be the case. Reading this message naturally begs one question. What would that be, Watson?
Why?
Indeed, Watson, why? For what reason would one have the right to blame the Jews in the future? Remember, Lestrade was killed near a club for socialist Jews, Edow's not far from a synagogue and the Imperial Club, and finally, this piece of apron dropped here. This building is occupied by Jewish families. The killer really did go out of his way to incriminate the Jews living in the area.
It's a bit obvious, Holmes.
Yes, but with the rumors, Watson, the author of this message would have received a response to his strategy.
You are right, Holmes. So perhaps it's a good thing this message was erased.
whoever took the decision to do this is a man of great wisdom and courage. Let's return to Baker Street, Watson. I have some pipes to smoke to help me think more clearly.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
You have some pipes to make you nice and high.
I had nightmares all night, Holmes. As for you, I bet you didn't get a wink of sleep, did you? It's this chalk message business, isn't it?
Among other things.
And this lunatic is still running free. If only we knew what he looked like.
But we do know, Watson. We have a fairly accurate description.
I must have missed an episode of your adventures, Holmes. Not only have I heard you discredit the value of our eyewitnesses, but the few descriptions we do have don't seem to correspond.
An inaccurate account can regain its value if we can discover why and to what extent the truth must be rewritten. We've learned a great many things tonight, and I'm able to tell you what our man looks like.
Really?
Yes, and we're going to need a few things, Watson. Find me 3 mannequins, my worker's costume, my 3 full wigs, one of your worn garments, yes, that can be used for the workman's outfit, and one of your old suits. Oh, and my deer stalker, the one I never wear, but everyone seems to think I wear day and night.
Oh, and my deer stalker.
A wig. This will come in handy.
Nothing in there. Wig, hat, another mannequin. Did I grab 3 wigs already? It's hard to tell.
So, as for one of the murders, we have no witnesses whatsoever. As for the 3 other, we have at least one person who claims to have seen the victims talking to a man a few minutes before their death. Do you remember whom these would be, Watson?
Oh boy, yeah, I'm not. Nope. Hold on, let me bring up my guide because I'm not gonna go through 50 million things and try to remember what's what. Um, Hold on. Constable. That one is proof. What's the third one? Where is... Okay, I'm totally missing them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. That's whatever. I need Elong. Hmm. That was like at the very beginning, right? I can't find the testimony that it's asking for. There's one testimony. Oh, you know what? I think it... Ah. Can I remove this one? Yeah, okay, there we go. I didn't realize it was in documents. Now I feel like a dum-dum. Where is it? There it is. There it is.
There are our 3 witnesses.
Okay, see you then. Whoop. Okay, hold on. Now I'm messing my computer up. Oh, hold on. Okay, so we're gonna do... Okay. I have to do 3.
Indeed, Watson, that's the right size for Abraham's manor.
30. And it's gonna be the jacket? No, this one. With the cap and
Perfect, Watson.
okay, next one's gonna be 60, 45, just like it says. Oh no, excuse me, I need to scroll. Okay, so 58. $26. Let's go with that one. Am I missing a hat? I think I'm missing a hat. Okay. So hold on, let me. Am I missing? I'm missing a hat. Okay, anyways, I don't want to get into that right now. I'm missing a hat. There it is, right there.
Excellent. Now, on to the next step.
Okay, and then let's see the last one.
As for young
53.
PC Smith's account, he must have been mistaken about this person's real height. It is only an inch or two after all, and we can attribute the same height as the other two.
$40, and then let's do the other remaining. And that one has ginger? Or that one has dark hair as well. It's hard to tell.
Excellent. Now, on to the next step. As for young PC Smith's account, he must have been mistaken about this person's real height. Bravo, Watson. Our mannequins have been recreated based on the correct accounts. Now, Watson, let's see in what ways these statements differ and how the witnesses could have been mistaken. Let's look at these wigs and moustaches. Let's start by taking the first Joseph's testimony, who saw the man head-on in a well-lit spot and in which he noted fair hair. Now, let's consider the same person, but in the lighting and angle of the other two witnesses, in the darkness of night, with poor artificial lighting from above. Put out the light, Watson.
Oh, okay.
Thus, poor lighting and a backlit subject can affect our perception of shades and colors. The wigs from Abraham's mannequin took on the same color as the other two. The three testimonies, therefore, don't contradict one another, and we can apply the same facial hair to all three mannequins. Turn on the light, Watson.
Yes, I have, Holmes.
Well done, Watson. With regards to the murderer's hair, the three witnesses should agree on Abraham's testimony, as Joseph is the only one who saw our man in full light. His hair must therefore
be,
be
you
fair.
know. I'm not good at this
detectorize
and stuff, guys.
when one is an eyewitness to an event. This leads us to reconsider the various statements regarding the supposed age of the man. Even if you are face to face with someone in full light and for a period of several hours, to what extent can you determine their exact age? And even more so if you observe them for only a few seconds and or from behind. We must allow some flexibility when considering our witnesses' statements, but always scientific flexibility.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, perfect. 35. 26. Oh, I see. Okay, down a little. Oh, no, up 34. 27, 33.
There we are. Magnificent.
I'm gonna assume that's 17, 18, 19. And that's gonna be 36, 543.
Perfect, Watson. For Smith's mannequin, let's allow a margin of 7 to 10 years. He only saw the man from afar in the obscurity. Smith's mannequin.
Okay, so 31, 32, oops, one too far, 33, let me see, am I going down or up on this one? Down. A lot of clicking going on.
There we are. Magnificent.
Yes, I have, Holmes.
Now that we have fully considered the witness accounts, let's see to what extent they agree. If we apply the range of error for each of our dummies, we can deduce the age of our murderer as precisely as possible.
No, hold on. I'm confused here. Oh gosh, I'm gonna stop. I'm really bad at getting out of frame. I'm sorry. Okay. Is it just a number that's in all of them? That's 33.
Perfect, Watson. Within a margin of 1 year, Watson, the age of our murderer is 33 years.
But the man described by Smith was dressed respectably, whereas the other two were poorly dressed.
Indeed, but Whitechapel's respectively could quite easily describe the Sunday bests that all lower-class men own. Now, let's place ourselves in the shoes of Liz Stride's killer. He has just slain his victim and sees Louis Diemschutz discover her body. Our killer is at great risk if he stays in the area. He therefore gets away from this spot. But he wants to kill again. However, he might have been spotted in the area before having committed the murder by a constable on his round, perhaps, who managed to get his description. What do you think the killer will do?
By disguise.
No, that's not it. No, Watson. No, Watson. No, that's not it.
Throw his clothes in a sewer or a trash bin and head off to find another victim.
It's hard to believe, Watson. Someone from a lower social class wouldn't throw away his clothing like that. No, Watson. No, Watson. No, that's not it.
Okay, like any of these options.
Go back home or to a safe location, change his clothes and leave again in search of another victim.
It's the only possible explanation, Watson. The man returned to the safety of his lodgings and then decided to go out again with new clothes and repeat his sinister nocturnal work. That's how the discrepancies between the witnesses with regards to clothing can be explained.
What a cold-blooded animal.
And what determination! Powerful motives are pushing this man. Thus, we can conclude that the respectable man with the package may very well have been seen by the two Josephs.
Even if it is just a mannequin, it's giving me goosebumps. But have we really made any progress, Holmes? I mean, there must be thousands of men in Whitechapel who match this description, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
You're right, Watson. We have worked on who, now let's work on where. We need a map of Whitechapel, and please also find me a pencil, 2 compasses, one of which can draw ellipses.
Okay.
I am in need of something.
A pencil of some kind? That opens obnoxiously slow. Nope. Okay. I need a pencil!
I am in need of something.
First of all, let's place our 4
Okay,
murders
let's
on
place
this map, as well as the
our
spot
4
where the
murders
graffito
on the map,
appeared,
as well as
and
the
the piece of
spot where
apron
the
was dropped.
graffito appeared. I don't know where any of the maps were, or where any of the things were, murders were. Okay. She was... Nope, I don't know where any of these murders were. Okay. So Annie Chapman was at Hanbury. This is Elizabeth Stride. She was at Dunfield's Yard. Mary Ann Nichols.
Perfect, Watson.
There we
Let's
go.
connect each crime scene to the one out of the others that is the furthest.
I know which ones are like the furthest.
You see, Watson, the murders aren't grouped together, but seem to be spread out like cardinal points around a central zone. The killer obviously wanted to avoid returning to the previous scenes of his crimes, assuming that they would be more closely watched, or that he could be recognized.
So, the killer lives at the center of this cross.
In the vicinity, most certainly, but how near? We cannot afford to get it wrong. If you concentrate, Watson, you will notice that the murders are roughly equidistant from the intersection point of the diagonals. Let's focus on the night of the double murder. Remember, Watson, it took us 20 minutes to get from Dutfield's Yards to Mitre Square. Let's draw a line from one to the other.
A line to where to where?
Perfect. We didn't make the trip as the crow flies, but that would not harm our estimate. Let's suppose the killer left Dutfield's Yard at 1 a.m. and arrived in Mitre Square at 1:35
I'm not
a.m.
good at this
when he
shit.
was seen by the two Josephs. If he took 5 minutes to change his clothes, that leaves a range of 10 minutes to determine where this man's lodgings are. We must determine the area in which one can go from Dutfield's Yard to Mitre Square in less than half an hour. To do this, let's draw an ellipsis. The length between Dutfield's Yard and Mitre Square corresponds to 20 minutes. By adding half, we get a distance of 30 minutes. By taking the two right segments, each starting from the two murder scenes, and which the sum of the lengths makes 30 minutes, we get our ellipses.
Okay, so this one's... No, no, no. That's... Nope. Can I just undo... Okay, thanks. What? Sex? Okay, let me... Oh, shit. Oh, it's really gotta be, like, perfect, doesn't it? I'm having trouble seeing, like, what's exactly in the middle. Hello there, Manny. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Okay. Okay. Oh, that erases that. Okay. Why can't I set? Does he have to, like, approve the next one? That's as close as it's getting for combinations. Okay. trying to do it like exactly as it's showing me on the little guide I'm following. Oh, lordy, lordy. No, okay. So let's do, hold on. And let's do... there. And then, hello? Tis not working. I'm doing it right. Oh, I'm so confused. Like, this is silly. I'm seriously, I don't understand. I'm doing what it wants me to do. It's not like acknowledging that I'm doing it. I guess I just have to keep trying to do it. Whoop! I didn't mean to do that. I'm assuming it's got to be very specific, but that's really fucking irritating. That it has to be in a very specific spot. No. Back. Thank you. And it's not letting me use this ellipsy thingy at all. This is gonna irritate the shit out of me. Like, I'm doing what it wants me to do. I'm so lost right now. Like, it's not working. And I get frustrated really easily, so I'm trying not to get frustrated right now. I don't understand. It's exactly what my little guide, it's supposed to be in that exact spot according to my guide. played this one. I'm going through all of them because I have almost all of them. So I started from all the ones that my computer actually let me play. But like, this is just frustrating because I'm doing exactly what it wants me to do and it's not cooperating. No, come on. Thank you. Ugh. Why won't he do it? I'm so irritated right now. Brownie lips. Draw the length between Dunfell's Yard and Meter Square. It's exactly what I'm doing. I'm assuming he's supposed to say, like, elementary or something, so I can continue and do the next fucking one. Okay.
Holmes?
Got
yes,
it.
Indeed. And
You had to go
goal
like
is to
way
reduce this
wider
area
than
as
the
much
guide
as we
was
can.
telling me to go.
We must consider the fact that the murder at Mitre Square was committed under a certain amount of pressure, given that the killer knew he was wanted for the acts he committed not long before. We can
Lordy, that was not
acts
fun.
such as the
Okay.
graffiti he carried out after 2 murders. Let's trace a
Whoop, whoop, whoop. No, I can't. Now, see, now I fucked my screens up. Lordy, okay. See, now this one's gonna be an issue, though.
Our killer must
There we
surely
go.
live inside this circle. Now, let's intersect it with ellipses that we previously determined. There we are, Watson.
There we
the
go,
Aldgate
yay.
district.
Shouldn't we inform
Jesus,
the
that
police
took way
so
too
that they
long.
can concentrate their efforts on this area of Whitechapel?
It is probably already crawling with inspectors, Watson, and I doubt that they would take us seriously, even if they were willing to listen to what we had to say. Let's focus instead on understanding the killer's modus operandi. We know our murderer preys on prostitutes who are penniless, weak, sick, or alcoholic, that he distracts them the moment before killing them, and that he left an anonymous message inciting anti-Semitic hatred at the entrance of a building occupied by Jews. How would you describe this man?
What a coward!
Indeed, he is a person of great cowardice.
I'm out of
Let's look
water.
at his murders, and in particular, the depredations on the
I have to
corpses,
go get
putting
water.
aside that of Miss Stride, because on that occasion his work was left unfinished. If we recall the observations made on the victims and the parts that were mutilated or damaged on each of the bodies, without forgetting the fact that he also removed one or more organs, we can ascertain that our killer evolves during the course of the murders, cowardly and still evolving. And yet, look at the location of our first murder, that of Polly
my
Nichols
neck
in Bucks
popped.
Row. It is
Oh,
the
man.
most distant from the area our killer would appear to live. Perhaps this murder was preceded by another within the killer's area. I believe a cowardly killer would commit his first murder in an area close to his home in order to find refuge as quickly as possible on carrying out the act.
Holmes, an idea just occurred to me that fills me with dread. This evolution of which you speak.
He will pursue his next victim as long as the conditions permit him to continue killing Watson.
But how could one go even further in this horror? Look at what he did to that woman, Catherine Eddowes.
In order to avoid having to answer that question, we must act with haste and planning. Watson, I suggest you inform yourself on the mutilations sustained by the victims. We played with the idea that this could be an act of vengeance against prostitutes. If the mutilations correspond to areas affected by a specific pathology, perhaps the killer wanted to give an eye for an affliction he felt the prostitutes he knew were responsible for.
And this trail leading to Dr. Tumblety, Holmes?
I also have a few things to look into in the meantime. I still have a primary witness to track down, not to mention old trails I've yet to pursue. See you soon, Watson. When we first spoke about the Bucks Row murder with Watson, he was reading a newspaper, The Star, dated September 1st, 1888, I believe, which mentioned similar murders in the preceding months. I have no chance of finding the police reports, but perhaps I could find some information at the Central News Agency. I must
Oh, great!
go
I
there
guess
at
go to
once.
the news place
Afterwards,
again.
I'll
This
go back
side
to
of
see
my hair
Abraham,
just
the
doesn't
owner
want
of the
to.
pet shop in Whitechapel. The second Joseph statement would
Oh,
lead me to believe
here's
that
the
he
mess,
may know
whatever.
the man spotted on the corner of Church Passage that night. If that's the case, I must find this witness so I can question him.
Excuse me. Okie dokie. So I need to go to the news agency.
Ah, Bulling is there. It won't hurt just this once. Hello, Mr. Bulling. So, did your colleague tell you about the tip?
What tip?
Ah, I see. I gave him an explosive tip and he went without you? No, that's not very sporting on his part. No doubt he took all of the credit for his discovery.
You're winding me up, eh?
I must show Bulling something to make him believe me.
Like what? Oh,
What do you want?
I'm not winding you up. The proof is that he gave me this advance on the debt.
That traitor! He owes me if I find him.
Before I leave, can you do me a favor?
Heck, tell me.
I'm looking for some reliable info on the murders committed in Whitechapel in the months before Polly Nichols' attack.
Reliable? Ha! You really think you'll find that here? Fine. I'll be honest with you. We have folders that group the dispatches from the current year into categories. In the police law category, you'll find the transcripts of the trials and investigations that we sell to the newspapers that ask us.
Perfect.
Sadly, I am out of time. I'll leave you to solve it, eh? You're the detective, aren't you?
I am the detective. I ain't good at detectoring, but I'm the detective. Okay. Where is it? Oh, it's over there.
The dossiers are full of papers in dated envelopes. I can't open them. That would be too obvious. How can I tell which compartment to look in? No categories are indicated. An envelope is torn. I can tell that this dispatch contains economic information. This compartment was repaired recently.
That's all I got, huh? Okay, let's see.
This compartment was repaired recently.
Yeah, that tells me nothing. All right, let me... Come on, you stupid piece of junk. Okay, let's go. Tell me how it is supposed to be organized. Nope, that's... Oh, I have to, like, go to the desk and look at shit. Okay. Can't just tell me what it is, can you?
Closed.
Okay. Okay. Close. Okay. Front page, society goes here, politics goes there. World goes here, culture goes here, inventions go here, weather goes here, police and law goes here.
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases. Now, I need to open them discreetly. I must try to unglue the openings.
Oh lordy, okay. Discreetly, discreetly.
I need something. These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases.
What do I need?
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases.
Okay, I had to light it. Gotcha.
I need something. These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases.
Blah, blah.
Now, I need to open them
Trying to figure out how to do something. It's very annoying.
Water. I need something. I need something.
Do I need to combine it or something? No? Okay, you're making me mad. Or do I need to put that?
I need something.
Mm-hmm.
I need something.
What do I need? I'm very confused.
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Ah. Let's see. Okay. What's in my inventory right now? Okay, just the envelope and the... Ah! Teapot! Okay. Teapot?
There, that will provide me with steam.
That I need matches for.
These envelopes contain dispatch.
Yeah, blah blah.
Open, and it looks like I'm in luck. This envelope contains precious information.
Smarticles. Da, 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 da. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's a
The
bunch.
information excludes the murder of the first woman, Miss Smith. Jack the Ripper can't be the author of that crime. On the other hand, there are enough similarities to suggest he may be the killer of Martha Tabram. I must go to the pet shop.
Can I have some tea? Can I have some tea first? That'd be great.
I must go to the pet shop.
That's where I'm going,
Closed
bro.
until further notice. Abraham isn't there. No luck.
Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening, sir.
Do you know why Mr. Solomonovich's shop is closed?
No, I don't. Perhaps his cousin, the cobbler, knows. But I believe the police came to take his animals. I think that might have something to do with it.
When was this?
During the day. The kids you were with the other day were there, they told me. They just came by to ask for some cat's meat. They didn't have any money, but I gave them some anyway. Ah.
Oh boy.
Is something wrong?
It's just that there was a little girl with them, the same age as mine. My little girl who went away with her
This
mother.
poor man. This poor,
the
poor man.
angels into the sky.
Dr. Watson told me about your loss. Please accept my condolences. Would you like to talk about it? How did it happen?
The illness, sir. My poor little girl was in agony, and her face and body were ravaged by the disease.
Her face?
Yes, she looked like a ghost.
What illness was it?
Dr. Gibbons tried to explain when I took my little girl to see him, but I didn't understand. I'm sure that he was trying to insinuate it was my fault. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I understand. Farewell. Let's go and see Dr. Gibbons. Let's go and see Dr. Gibbons.
Yes, I'm working on it. Will you shut the fuck up? Thank you.
Hello, Doctor. Do you remember me? I'm Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson's friend.
Oh, yes. Excuse the mess, but I am doing a bit of tidying.
I have come to see you about a Mr. Hardyman, a cat food seller by trade, who recently lost his daughter and wife.
Yes, I know him. A tragic story.
Actually, I was hoping you could tell me about the disease that took his daughter, a disease that would have attacked her face.
Well, to keep it short, we are speaking of syphilis, Mr. Holmes. You must certainly know that it is transmitted through intimate connections and that the vast prostitute population here contributes to its inevitable progression. It destroys individuals by spreading through the body slowly. The most obvious symptoms can be found in the genitalia and on the face in the form of pustules or lesions. Sometimes this illness can destroy whole families. The father catches it from a prostitute, he transmits it to his wife, who in her turn passes it to the kids which she bears or nurses. These cases are numerous in the vicinity.
Oof,
Certain
that's
children,
rough.
and this is the case of the little girl whom I won't name, suffer from an emaciation of the face which will, apart from predicting an imminent death, bring infamy upon the family.
Emaciation of the face?
Yes, what we sometimes call the pox. I will give you a photograph. One cannot be mistaken on the origin of such a face. The eyes seem to be void of lids, the nose is inexistent as if it was cut off, and the cheeks are chiselled as if cut with a knife. This loss of facial matter, this emaciation, is in this area often the gift from a father to his children.
Can I keep this photograph?
I should destroy it, but if it can remind you that one must sometimes think twice before giving in to physical attraction.
I always seem to find myself alone in such cases. Thank you, Doctor.
He helps himself. Oh, lordy. Okay.
Let's go to the cobbler's.
Blurs.
Let's go to the cobbler's.
I could have just walked there. It's literally right across the street. I'm a dum-dum.
Hello, Mr. Solomonovich.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, how are things with you?
They're okay. I'm
I
here.
heard your
I'm
cousin
surviving.
Abraham had a problem with his shop. What happened?
If I didn't know you well, I would tell you that it's Jewish business that doesn't concern anyone but the Jews. But as you have a little bit to do with it, you have the right to know what is going on.
Ah, would I have something to do with it?
Someone had seen Abraham telling you something and making big gestures near the Imperial Club. A vicious rumor quickly spread, and it has caused him great injustice. A slanderous denunciation attracted the authorities' attention to my cousin's shop. Abraham must be in the process of answering their questions.
I did, indeed, speak with your cousin the other night. I'm shocked at the consequences of this discussion.
As I was saying, it's the story of the Jews. In the face of adversity, we are united, but amongst ourselves, it's like anywhere else. As soon as our people take a dislike to someone, for right or wrong, we can be without pity and quite cruel.
I mean, that sounds about right. That's people in
This is all
general.
very worrying. Your cousin knows one, or rather two, of the men who were at the Imperial Club on the night of the Mitre Square murder. One of the two, a butcher in Aldgate named Joseph, is probably withholding information of the utmost importance. I must find this man. Perhaps you can help me.
But there are dozens of Jewish butchers around Aldgate, half of which must be called Joseph. And you know, Mr. Holmes, we Jews prefer to remain in the background of this murderer business, this Jack the Ripper thing. All of London is pointing their fingers at us saying, it's a Jew who disemboweled these women. Our community is in great peril, you know. There was the business with Lipsky and Leather Apron. I will see what I can do, but I don't promise anything.
I'd be extremely grateful to you.
Thanks, dude.
This is all
No,
very
no,
worrying.
no,
But
no,
I'd be-
no. Thanks.
Very well. We may meet again, Mr. Solomonovich.
You are most welcome, Mr. Holmes.
I've paced up and down Whitechapel enough. I should return to Baker Street in order to reflect on the new facts that I have discovered.
Baker Street it is, my friend.
Hello, Holmes.
Good day, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, I know I should have got here
Oh,
sooner
look at that
to
double
give you a
chin.
report on my research, but this case has led me to neglect my patients and my wife more than I care to admit. I've been able to sort things out over the last few days, and now I am ready to pursue this investigation.
You don't have to justify yourself, Watson. Whilst I do tolerate you as an observer, and despite your occasional help with more menial tasks, may I remind you that you are by no means an indispensable part of this case.
Wow.
Oh, you tolerate me as an observer, do you? Oh, you're too much, Holmes. Well, Mr. Detective, despite my absence, I have been working on this case, putting my relationship on the line in the process. And I happen to have a confidential letter that only passed from one lord's hand to another. What it contains is extremely serious.
I knew
It
Sherlock
concerns
was
Dr.
cold,
Tumblety
but
and
damn.
his collection of uteri.
Let me see that. Excellent. This American could turn out to be of great use to use.
That's right. And that's not all. I did some research and finally found an illness that affects the genitalia and can, in certain cases, cause facial symptoms resembling the mutilations seen on the last victim. It is called, would you believe?
Syphilis and the emaciation that can be seen in affected children. I have known that for days, Watson.
Really?
Listen, now you're already here, Watson, we may as well continue the investigation. Do you remember the map on which we established the area in which our killer lives? I think we should continue our study.
Okay. Do I have anything here I need to fill out? Yeah. Okay. Do map.
Well, I discovered the case of another murder before that of Bucks Row. It happened in George Yard. We shall put it on the map in order to see if it corresponds to our area of research. We must place the murder of Martha Tabram in George Yard on the map. That is where Martha Tabram's murder took place. There's no point going there. I already have all the information we need on that matter. You see, this murder took place in the area in which our killer lives, his safe zone. Nonetheless, there are two major differences between the murder of this Martha Tabram and that of Polly Nichols. Firstly, the blows inflicted are not the same.
And the second difference?
It follows on from a doctor's opinion. He claims two weapons might have been used, and if there is one group of people we absolutely must not trust in this business, it's doctors. Don't you agree, Watson?
Watch it, Holmes.
Tabram's murder took place in an area where the murderer, whose cowardice is clear, was able to make a quick getaway, that is to say, near his home. For his second murder, he would have wanted to go further afield, so the police would not link these two cases. And as for the other murders, seeing the ineffectiveness of his last one, he headed in different directions to kill his victims while still staying in the vicinity and without going any further than necessary, and all the while planning his escape. My dear Watson, we now know what this man looks like, in what area he lives, and that he suffered directly or indirectly from syphilis. Let's not forget the anatomical knowledge he must almost certainly possess. Given his lower class background, a butcher seems very likely. However, it may be the case that the man was a butcher once, but is no longer. He might also have been a medical assistant. Who knows? That's why we need the testimonies of the other Joseph and Dr. Tumblety in order to be certain.
What shall we do, Holmes?
As the police's cooperation is futile and can be ruled out, we have nothing to do but wait. Watson, wait, and hope we see one of these two men before the killer strikes again.
At last, a long day's work done. How are you doing, Holmes?
Fine, Watson, just fine.
I suppose you still haven't heard any news from Whitechapel.
No, Watson.
It's been almost a month now. Who knows? Our killer may have brought justice upon himself, overcome by
I
remorse
doubt
and
it.
ignominy for his actions.
Not a chance, Watson.
You haven't done anything about the story of a kidney that was sent in the post and reported by the papers. Why not?
The killer left a message on one occasion with the intention of harming. The letter accompanying this package served no purpose other than to give value to its recipient and arouse disgust against its sender. The killer has never done anything for nothing. In order to authenticate the Galston Street message, he left an indisputable piece of evidence. Can we really say as much about this kidney?
I don't know. All I know is that there are letters piling up on your desk. Isn't it time to move on to another case?
Absolutely not, Watson. I think that the other Joseph is reluctant to meet me. The man he saw must certainly have put the fear of God in him, a man well known for his violence and his hatred towards Jews. There can't be any shortage of those in Whitechapel. I have hope yet. As for Dr. Tumblety...
We found him, Mr. Holmes. We found him.
Who's that?
Dr. Bumblebee. He's been locked up by the
Bumblebee.
bobbies, but they've let him loose. Oi, he was looking round like a rat who's scared of his own shadow. He's gonna do a run at years.
Watson, this is our chance. The game is afoot. Let's hope that Tumblety will go
Got
to
a
collect his
frosting
trunk.
in my hair
As for you,
from when
my
I
little
made my
friends,
cake
thank you for lifting
earlier.
this burden that has been on my shoulders for almost a month.
Yeah, right here, my hair is all crusty. Owie. Okay, anywho, sorry. Where am I going?
Let's return to the boarding house.
I was like right around the corner, right? Whee!
He is here. The doctor is here, up in his room. Peeking through my door, I saw him go up the stairs, and I think that he has a pistol.
Regarding the trunk, did you do what I told you to?
Yes, I jammed the lock and filled the trunk with stones. Should we call the police?
Absolutely not. Go home, lock your doors, and if you hear a gunshot, shout as loudly as you can. Watson, we must disarm this man at all costs before attempting to confront him. Come, have your pistol at the ready and stay alert.
I love how Watson is the one that has to,
Don't move a muscle or I shoot.
Who? But what is going on?
Bravo, Watson. I take back everything I ever said about your less than full involvement in our investigations.
Listen, Mr. Policeman. I already told everything to your colleagues at the station, so...
Don't you believe it, sir. We're not with the police. We are here to talk about human organs, an area in which you seem to have a great deal of interest.
What? But who are you?
We are the ones holding the pistol. Listen, Tumblety, tell us everything you know and you will be spared from the noose or a bullet. Have you tried to get hold of any female genitalia from someone during these past months?
So that's it. You English. Listen, as it happens, I do have a collection of female genital organs which I hold dear and never miss the chance to show my friends whatever the occasion. If you knew what I feel when my eyes
I mean,
meet
it's
the
kinda
young
true.
men's as they contemplate with astonishment and disgust this soft and flabby skin that they worship and place at the center of all their passions. Women repulse me, gentlemen. They are one of nature's greatest mistakes. Lying, haughty, and most of all, nauseating. No, sirs. Men, mankind, we are not made to soil ourselves with such animals, and it is my task to educate my peers, like the ancient Greeks used to do, and put them on the path to
So he wants
masculine
everybody to be
relationships,
gay.
the only kind worthy of our
Alright.
intelligence.
My God, this man has lost his marbles, Holmes.
You haven't answered my question. Did you attempt to obtain any female organs?
Indeed, but a long time ago. I was living in Liverpool at the time. A few of my specimens were starting to lose their freshness. But despite the sum proposed, the heads of the university hospitals refused to accede to my demands. The fear of what others would say, certainly. I know nothing more similar to an arrogant fowl than an English doctor. Yakety yak, always showing off in the courtyard with their haughty airs. And as soon as...
Shut it, Tumblety. So, was it you who killed all of these women? Yes or no?
I regret to say that it was not. If I had really wanted a few more uteri, I would have had them brought in from the United States, where it would cost me much less than here. Or I would have shown a few gold coins in the hallways of a morgue or a hospital in London, and they would have kissed my feet to sell them to me, and not taken the least risk. But kidneys are all the latest, aren't they? I think that I could find one tomorrow for less than £1. In short, gentlemen, I do not know your killer, and I don't know why he's doing that. But if you come across him one day, please send him my friendship and my deepest respect.
He
You've
is a
gone too far this
character.
time.
Come, Watson, let's not get carried away now. Thank you for your assistance, Doctor. If I may offer some advice, you should leave England as soon as possible. Each day that you remain in this country is a risk that an intelligent man would not take.
My pistol?
Without that, it will be even more risky.
Can we believe this man, Holmes?
He can't be the murderer, and his story regarding the organs fits. But we can't afford to take the slightest risk. I will ask the Baker Street irregulars to follow him. Listen, lads, when Tumblety leaves here, follow him discreetly and come and tell me as early as possible tomorrow where he is currently residing. Understood?
Understood, Captain.
You are already ready, Holmes. What is going on?
I have been waiting for you for at least an hour, Watson. It would appear that a new drama has unfolded. The youngsters came to give me this address, but I have some doubt as to the actual location we are going to. Let's try anyway. At worst, we may come across the Baker Street irregulars to put us in the right direction.
We are lost, Holmes.
No, we're not, Watson. We are heading for the very street I'd hoped for, but as I wasn't sure it was this one, I've made a few big detours in order to find the right one. I'll know it when I see the name.
Why, of course, Holmes. Why didn't I think of that? The great Sherlock Holmes can't...
Okay.
How are you, my friend? Are you not feeling well?
No,
My friend is a doctor. He can take care of you.
don't go there. He came here and he...
Now, Watson, take care of him.
Okay.
Nothing of interest here.
What am I looking for? Oh, door right there. There.
My God!
What happened?
Can't talk. Wait for the coppers. Are they coming? My eyes are crying.
No.
Go find them too, mister. I'll stay here and keep an eye out. Go!
No, I must await my friend. Ah, here he is.
Watson, are you there? How are you?
Fine, Holmes, and you? What happened?
Hello, sir. Where are we, Watson?
In Whitechapel, Holmes. This must be Dorset Street. You don't seem very well. Do you need something?
Indeed, Watson, some clay, a great big piece of clay. I would ask for some wine too, but as you know, I taste nothing but melodrama.
What is over there?
A trip from which you will never return, Watson. Trust me, don't go there.
A trip? Behind this door? In this room?
It's not strictly a door, it's more of a portal, a threshold, and what lies behind it is not the mortal realm, Watson. It is a place beyond time and space, the gift of a frantic artist who made use of his talent in order to grant us access to his world, Watson. Beyond that threshold is an abyss. Hell. The police won't take long to arrive, and the last thing I want is to waste precious time on them. Could you lead me out of this area and take me home?
Okay.
You should come and eat, Holmes. Mrs. Hudson has worked wonders. The joint has been cooked medium rare. If only you would tell me what was in the courtyard.
The answer,
Dead
Watson.
chick, man.
The answer, Holmes?
Yes, the answer to a question that you asked me a few weeks ago.
How the devil can the answer to a question I asked you be found in that courtyard? And what question are you referring to, Holmes?
How our killer set about reaching the height of horror by taking another victim, Watson. Did I not tell you that I wanted to avoid melodrama?
Do you mean to say that...
Yes, that's what was in that room. You helped towards the colour. All that's missing is the odour, but I shall let that pass. The mutilations almost all resulted in large removals of flesh. My photographic memory noted them all in great detail, the shape, size and location, and thanks to the softness of this clay and your medical knowledge, I believe we can attempt to determine what is missing from this lady.
Don't you think we should wait for the medical examiner's opinion?
Surely not, Watson. This massacre has gone on long enough. I can assure you that I will do everything in my power to get our hands on Jack the Ripper before this night is out.
Oh, hold on. How close are we to the end here? Okay, so we must be really close to the end, which is good because I got some wrestling I need to watch.
Watson, we shall reconstruct the body of this poor woman and inspect it in detail as well. Your help as a medical man will be invaluable.
Holmes, I feel a bit unwell.
Well, I understand. I will manage on my own. Her throat was slit just like the others. The wound is particularly deep. There were incisions in the ribcage. The liver was neatly removed. 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 The liver was neatly removed.
Whoop, whoop. What are you doing, Brie Brie? Dog's being crazy over here.
The liver was neatly removed. The liver was neatly removed. An organ is missing, apparently. I must specify which organ this is on my list. There we are, Watson. We have examined everything. The heart is the only thing missing. 2 uteri, a kidney, and now a heart. He had all the time he wanted in which to disfigure her, cut her up like a piece of meat, and yet took nothing but the heart. What do you think of that, Watson? Watson?
You went and puked from a clay model? Like, that just doesn't make sense. I mean, I know the concept is gross, so I guess maybe I would too, but...
I dread to think how you'd react if you saw a corpse. I'm returning to Whitechapel, Watson, to Isaac's. If the heart's... Let's go to the cobbler's.
Okay, cobblers. Boop.
Let's go to the cobbler's.
What are you doing? Oh, lay down!
Beep, beep. Evening, Mr. Holmes.
Good evening, Hardiman. Has Abraham Solomonovich still not reopened his shop?
No, not that I know of.
Have you heard anything about the latest murder?
Certainly there is talk of nothing else. Poor girl. I hope they catch the bastard who did it.
Who do you think that could be?
A madman, that's for sure. Everyone in the area is pinning it on a Jew. But I don't believe that for a second.
Why?
Because Jews don't like blood, you see. They're not allowed to eat it, and they have to drain the meat before cooking it. It's true that they eat animals, but they are fanatical about all kinds of silly things. I don't know much about their rituals and all, but I know that a Jewish butcher can't just do whatever he pleases with his knife. He has strict kosher rules to follow.
You seem to be very well informed.
Well, I buy my meat from them too. My clients don't care whether the meat comes from Jews or not. Cats eat it regardless. And let me tell you, I'd go as far as to say that I may even have more faith in a Jew, because even if they don't eat all the offals, a Jew inspects them to see if the animal was in good health. Lungs, for the most part, and as they make up most of my cat's meat, you can see the connection, right?
Jews are allowed to eat offals?
Ah, yes. They eat calves' kidneys, I think.
How big is that? A calf's kidney?
Ah, well, that depends if it's fresh or if it's been marinated in brine or cooked.
When fresh, are they as big as a human kidney?
They would be, yes.
You know, Mr. Hardiman, it's lucky for both of us that the murder that took place in your mother's courtyard was only the Whitechapel killer's third. Had it been the first, I wouldn't be thanking you, as I'm doing now, for all of this important information. Goodbye and take care.
If you say so. Right, Farewell, Mr. Holmes.
Let's go to the cobbler's.
Yep, cobbler's right here. Beep beep. Just love that dude. Beep beep.
Good evening, Mr. Solomnovich.
Evening, Mr. Holmes. If you've come about the business of my cousin, I hate to say...
Before you respond to my request, I must ask you to answer this question of the utmost importance. What offals are Jews allowed to eat?
Well, the same as you.
Kidney, heart, liver?
Yes.
How are they prepared?
Kidneys are boiled, heart is often finely sliced and cooked on a skewer, and liver is always grilled.
These offals, do they come from cattle?
Yes, beef or veal.
And eating non-kosher food would be a grave affair for a Jew, isn't that right?
Yes, it would be very serious. But what are you getting at?
If I were to tell you what I'm thinking, Mr. Solomnovich, you would pull out your own eardrums to not hear the end of my sentence. It goes against the beliefs of hundreds of members of your community, and for some, perhaps even worse. I will ask you one last time before involving the authorities, who I assure you will be far less discreet than myself. Do you know who the second Joseph is, the Aldgate butcher, who your cousin knows from the Imperial Club?
His name is Joseph Chaim Levy, but I don't know where he lives. I know nothing about him, other than he's a member of the Imperial Club on Duke Street.
That street is after Church Passage, coming from Mitre Square. Am I right?
That's it.
Thank you. You have been an enormous help to both of us. Now, listen carefully. I need you to find 4 or 5 strong men among the members of your family who you trust wholeheartedly, and to wait here with them until my arrival, or you receive a message from me. Is that clear?
But if you will tell me...
Later, Mr. Solomnovich. Later. Let's go to the Imperial Club.
Okay. I thought we were going to be able to end this quick, but I guess not. So we're going to go ahead and end it there. And I know there's only like minuscule amount left in the game, but we'll finish it another day. Because I got things to do, life to live.